Horseflight is excellence in international shipping. We like to say when you fly with us, you fly first class.
Horseflight was started by professionals in this industry, so your horse is next to our horse, and that means they're getting the best care, the best attention, the best service possible during their travels.
I felt like I could give something back to the clients, and that's what we try to do. We give first-class service. Give us a call. Call Horseflight, and we'll get your horse here.
Caledon is proud to support the inaugural season of the Major League Show Jumping Series and be outfitting the top riders in the world as they compete for over $7 million in prize money over 10 events at North America's premier show jumping venues. Founded in 2014 to provide American-made luxury equestrian apparel, Caledon is known for its high-quality products and its modern take on the storied equestrian lifestyle. Visit the Caledon booth by the Grand Prix tent to shop the entire collection, as well as the official Major League show jumping apparel and merchandise.
When every second counts, the surface matters. Premier Equestrian features Pro-Tex footing product and Auto Sport base mats. Mats absorb up to 40% of the concussion. Pro-Tex provides maximum stability. Premier Equestrian is the official footing partner of Major League Show Jumping. Contact us about your arena at premierequestrian.com.
BFL goes the extra mile just by always being there when you need them. It doesn't matter if it's a weekend, it doesn't matter if it's after hours. If you need them, they're there.
It is really important to have horse people insuring you in the horse business because they know our sport, they know our business, and they help you understand what is covered, what is not covered.
It's integral to have horse people insuring us. BFL are horse people. So we get great confidence that they know what they're doing when it comes to our coverage.
I couldn't be happier with my coverage with BFL. They're a fantastic company, and I'm so thankful to be associated with them.
We are going to be taking you through here for this 5-star event, and this is going to be the $217,000 meter 55 FEI 5-star Major League Show Jumping Grand Prix, and we have a stacked field here. A lot of these riders have saved their best horses for this class, considering when they win, all the prize money goes to them, and this is massive at 155. So we have total of 19 entries. And it's tough to get into this class, so they don't put a ton in it. And it's all really experienced riders here and some young up-and-coming superstars as well.
Well, Brock, you and I both walked the course, and even 1 and 2 scared me. Like, it is so difficult the way he's got it placed, and we'll go through that with you. But the jumps are massive, and they're so careful. I mean, some of the biggest jumps have got the shallow yellow cups on them, and oh boy, they're going to have to do some jumping today.
In these $217,000 individual 5-star classes that a major league is hosting, I've seen jumps. It's very rare you see them with basically no more holes that they can use at the top of these standards, basically.
Right.
So they're absolute mountains. So it's just such a pleasure to see this because it's so very few horses that can jump this sort of tracks around the world.
And for the first time this week, we actually have the VIP area.
The sport of show jumping is pretty simple. It's all about the falls.
Far side or the
first of those
side,
you need to know
you want to look
is when
at
they
it,
have a
of the
fence down.
course.
That
it's inhabited this time. There are
the second fall comes into play is if a horse has a refusal or a run out, basically doesn't jump the fence they intend. That again incurs 4 faults. If a rider and horse have a second stop on course or a run out, unfortunately you will hear the bell go and that will mean elimination. The aim of the game is very simply to finish with a 0 score. In the case of many of the classes like the Grand Prix that you're going to see today, it is about getting through the first round with a 0 score. But there's another factor. Time is the other factor that comes into play. A time allowed exists, and this is based on the distance of the horse and the speed you're supposed to ride at. So, say the time allowed is then calculated at 72 seconds. If they go over that time allowed, it's 1 time fault for every 4 seconds commenced on the clock. So, it's very simple. You have to jump all of the fences cleanly and stay inside the time. So how does it work after round 1? Well, very simply, all of those with a clear round go into the jump off. This is over a shortened course, using part of the track from round 1. So it might use fences 1, 3, 7, whichever way the course designer decides. But essentially it puts the emphasis on speed, and it's going to be a lot tighter turns in this one generally as well. The winner, well, very simply, the one that takes home the biggest share of the prize money, the one that lifts the trophy, is the quickest and highly likely clear around that track.
All right, we are back now after that wonderful explainer video, just to give us a brief preview of what's to come out there. I can't wait for this class to start. We start off with Leone, a horse we love, but had a little trouble yesterday, right?
Yeah, she did, and they're an established pair, so it was a little bit surprising. But you know yourself, Brock. These riders will have been up. Anybody that's had a problem, or anybody, period, would have been up crack of dawn this morning, flatting their horses, maybe setting a little gymnastic up or something to reestablish either contact or some confidence in the horse, maybe in the case of Leone.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate she has to go first. She can't even watch anybody go to really solidify her plan. And, it'll be interesting to see how she does. Obviously, the horse is amazing, but it might be a little bit spooked from yesterday. And then this course, just massive. But, hey, she's tough, she's experienced, and she's going to give it.
She sure is.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of times when I was showing, I was always a little bit nervous when I was going first. But in many cases, it worked out better for me because I walked. I knew my horse. I've always known my horses, and I followed my walk. The odd time when you go later in the class, and I'm sure you find this, you walked a 5, but the rider before you did a 6, and then you start second-guessing yourself. So maybe it's not a bad thing for her just to go in, knows her horse, she's going to follow her walk.
Well, that's going to be interesting to see. And then we also have Royce in this class with Margie Engel. It's always a pleasure to see that famous horse.
Fantastic, and he's now a breeding stallion, and I know Margie. I see her on Facebook.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are all set to go here. So great to welcome everyone in the crowds to the Caledon Equestrian Park. We've got a stacked order here, and we are ready for our first horse. They're warming up right now in the warm-up ring, and they are set to head down the chute. And we'll have an action-packed afternoon here with everybody on the showgrounds. We see all of our great guests there down into the infield. And we've got our first entry here on course right now. What a beautiful horse it is. This is from the United States of America. Please give a big Caledon welcome to Aaron, Davis Henneking, and Leonie. Leonie is owned by October Hill Sales Limited. It's a bay mare, and she is here along competing with her husband, Christian Henneking. And we'll welcome her into the ring as our first competitor.
Time allowed, 80 seconds. We'll have some riders do a direct 8 to this wall or shape out a 9. We'll see which ones choose which option.
Well, right off the bat, it's a very tall vertical facing a tent away from the in-gate, and then a direct dogleg turn to that spooky wall, and she did it beautifully. 7 strides down to the oxer.
That was far.
Jumped in great. Had to reach for it, but
she's riding a little extra aggressive, giving the horse confidence.
now these are 2 very tall uprights, and I mean tall.
And what a tricky turn that is to that. You can see
Galloping 5 strides again to an oxer. So right away they have to change their shape. Coming to the Caledon vertical and then into the dreaded triple. Always difficult. Oxer, oxer, vertical. But he has given them 2 strides. We see A coming down, a little tip with the front legs, and C. That's a difficult vertical.
Yeah, and she's just riding with a little extra leg because of having a bit of trouble yesterday, just to give a nice, better to have maybe 1 or 2 down and be very confident.
And roll back to a really airy, tall vertical.
That's a careful jump.
And here's Guy's triple bar. He always has one. Should be 4 strides. And I think 7 maybe to the last, which is huge. And she, through grit and determination, got over that last oxer. What a ride for this gal.
Well, hey, you know, considering how things went yesterday, that is not a bad result.
Not a bad result at all. Just under the time allowed. She was maybe a little bit cautious, and rightfully so.
That is a tough course, oh my. I call it a bit ugly in terms of how difficult it is. Obviously, it's designed beautifully in terms of how he wants it, the level of difficulty, but some really gnarly lines and very optical setups in some of these jumps.
I agree. I'm interested in Guy's, he's angling jumps a little bit here and there.
Funky turns.
We noticed it especially in the last class. It really adds to the rideability of the horse. I think that's what he's looking for.
Well, you know what he's done? It looks like on some of these turns where they're blind turns. So the horse only sees it the last stride or 2 as the rider turns to it because the angle. Right now we have Zaya de San Giovanni, ridden by Matt Cohn.
Well, this little gal, this little gray gal, she's found out she's a really good horse, and she's proving it to us. My goodness, she has really stepped her game up. Mac has put so many years and so much time into her. Won a major 5-star Grand Prix, the cousin to this at Angelstone.
He won it. And you know, who would have thought that maybe a couple of years ago he'd be jumping this horse in 5-star competitions, $217,000 competitions here at in his home province and horse shows, Caledon and Angelstone.
Mac was always a believer, just tipped that vertical, just didn't get her shape properly over that.
And this is tough. That is a scope test. Oxer.
Huge scope test. And I think that the 2 strides is a bit of a gift, but it's kind of a difficult distance in there, and we see a couple of rails coming down. She's just not on her game today.
Yeah, and you know, she's done a lot of jumping.
She's done a lot of jumping
a bit tired
in the last few months.
Wow, look at the technique. Just getting dragged down there a little bit. Look, it gets out of the way still. Oh, wow. Showing off his technique at the end there. So just a little trouble there in the middle of the course.
Yeah, a few jumps down, but as we pointed out, she has done a lot of jumping, and they're not great every day. It doesn't mean that they're not great horses.
Oh, yeah, and I think just a little tired there, but still finished up fantastic. What a course this is. 19 entries. I don't know how many clear rounds we're going to see, Nancy. This is...
Yeah, I don't either, although Francois' horse you're going to introduce now coming in should be fresh.
Francois Lamontagne coming in now, riding Chanel de Calvaire, and it's owned by himself as well.
I think she's maybe only had one other class, maybe 2 other classes, so I think she should be good and fresh, but I agree with you. I don't think we're going to see a huge jump off, but we have Olympians, we have World Cup winners. We've got so many riders to watch ahead of us.
Yep, we certainly do. It's a treat to have this here in our home of Caledon Equestrian Park.
He did the 7 strides between 1 and 2, and again, I think that's just a rider's choice there. What a hind end this mare has, Brock. She is just phenomenal. Such a powerhouse, and it all comes from behind with her.
She flips up those hips like the best of them.
Has no trouble getting down. Hang on there, Francois. She's going to jump you off.
Gave a big effort over the FAF. One of our sponsors.
Francois is just a little guy, and she must have a tremendous feel. Look at the scope
Okay,
on this
to the whip.
mare. Go for it.
Oh.
Good ride, Francois.
You know,
fantastic ride. Come on.
He is pushing.
Get those elbows going.
This mare tries so hard.
And he knows her so well. Now he's got to be very careful here after those huge efforts.
Nice gap there.
Beautiful. Come on, Francois. 3 more. Triple bars easy. Careful here. And then your last scope test.
And
oh boy,
he is over.
He does it within the time
Oh
allowed.
my goodness, our Canadian rider, Francois Lamontagne, going clear on his own Chanel du Calvaire.
What a ride.
Wow.
I wish we had a replay of some of those jumps, because that was an absolutely, that triple combination, he rode the pants off that mare.
Did he ever? And you know, it gave such a big effort to get across those back rails, pushing whenever he needed to. And it said, oh, holy smokes, going into 8ABC. Those oxers have proven troublesome already. And he went to give a reassuring crop on the top of the neck there to get across B, and he did.
Great ride. Just a great ride. But there's a partnership, right? They've been together since she was a young horse. He's brought her up all the ranks. He started her in the young horse classes. And I think that's just so important that they have that relationship.
Yep, the mare certainly believes in him. What a lovely thing to see. Next in the ring, we have American Kyle King riding Enzo. And this is owned by Seabright Investment Consultants Incorporated. I don't know.
Way up in the air over that oxer. Now careful for these 2 tall verticals.
Kyle King having great results all over the continent right now.
Had a great show at Spruce Meadows.
Yeah, he was telling me he's like, I'm in the top 5 at Spruce Meadows, and he was proud and feeling great going into this competition. So let's see if he can keep these rails up and continue on his successful ways.
Enzo easily threw that triple, made it look simple. And the Palmies jump. Everybody going around because this vertical is tricky, and I think the time is very fair today. I think it's more of a jumping contest than a speed contest to go clean.
Yes, so big that he's given him enough time to set up. And only 19 in it. Wow,
and our
terrific.
Second clean.
Good for him.
Look at that time, though, 79.14 out of 80 seconds. So
using every single second, and I don't know if he needed it, but he made sure he milked the clock there just perfectly, as these experts can do, almost having an internal clock themselves. So Kyle King is clear. That makes 2 clear in a row. We love seeing that. We weren't sure if we were going to see one considering how difficult it is, but we do have a jump-off set, which will make it exciting. Once again, we love having, on these big FEI competitions, only so many can enter in it, and that makes it a fun experience for our crowds here and people watching, that it's not going to drag on all day. They will get to the jump-off quite quickly. So watch and enjoy as we have the next in the ring here. This is NKH Cento Blue, ridden by German Christian Heineken.
Christian's the one that always makes our walk look irrelevant.
Yeah, riding another big, scopy horse here, NKH Cento Blue.
Had to hold for the 5 stride. Several of the riders were pushing for 5, and he had to hold for the 5, so a huge stride with this horse. Careful jump there, and it comes down. It's on yellow cups. They're 18 millimeters more shallow than the normal cup, so you have to be that much more careful to clear that jump.
Yeah, I wouldn't want a strong wind.
No, and that's about all it takes, just the horse passing over it to have the jump down. Just a toenail will take it down, and that's what happened. He barely touched it. Caught that one behind, strangely.
Well, that is I think it's the first time I've seen that skinny. It is so airy and so tall.
So airy.
I wouldn't be surprised to see it come down a few times.
And it's got that bull's head underneath.
That's right. Now, Christian Heineken coming home. 8 faults. Way under the time there. He could have maybe perhaps had a couple more strides out there had he known he was going so fast.
I think it's his way, though, and I think that's the way he rides his horses. Each one I've seen him ride, he rides in the same way, and maybe he doesn't want to change that.
Well, whatever he's doing, the horses jump with so much scope, so riding forward like that perhaps builds that. So next in the ring, we have Sean Cassidy riding Captain Jack. And he's had some great results on this one here and in Traverse City. So we'll see if he can conquer this course. That Olympic course designer we have, Guilherme Jors, has set for this $217,000 meter 55 MLSJ Grand Prix.
Yeah, this horse seems to me to have improved each time he comes in the ring. I know when I initially saw him earlier on in Angelstone, he was a little bit, I'm not going to say spooky, but just a little bit unsure of himself. And now this week, the horse has just been fantastic. So he's had a few shows under his belt, been to Traverse City, did the Angelstone circuit, of course. And, oh my goodness, that was, talk about a little, that wasn't going to happen.
No, the horse is a bit careful because remember it slid through that jump.
Exactly, and I think
off.
he went way up in the air, and then the 7-side distance just wasn't going to be there. So Sean very wisely turned him away. He couldn't afford to have another sit down in front of the jump.
No, this horse is very careful right now. So he's going to have to do some riding to get through this.
Yep, came down on that back rail, just a little bit unsure of himself, just chopped down behind. Yeah. I think he's probably going to call it a day, I would say.
Yeah, that's not after. It was unfortunate yesterday because he went clear, goes to the jump off, and the horse just thought it was doing a different jump because he was taking an angle, and then got surprised, slid through it, and obviously got a bit careful. And the beginning of this course here is not what Sean wanted to see, I'm sure. Ugly turn to a big wall, and then a flying forward 7 to a massive oxer away from the in-gate.
Well, that was what I was going to add. It's away from the in-gate. As I said to you after I walked the course, I'm frightened of the first 2 jumps. I mean, they are really, they're really asking a lot. And normally I find with Guy's courses, he sort of sets you into them gently. But for $217,000, I don't think he sees gentle in his vocabulary for
no,
this
he's
course.
like, I am not having everyone going clear here running for the money.
Exactly.
You're going to have to.
He had a lot clear in the last class. He had 10 clear. Not going to happen again.
Nope.
Not for this money.
Nope. 6th. That was 6th in the order. out of 19, so we're about a third of the way through the class already. We have 2 clear. Francois Lamontagne, our very own Canadian rider, and Kyle King, both clear. So we are assured of a jump off. We're going to go to number 7th on the list right now, another American, the captain of one of the teams at Major League Show Jumping. He's going to be riding Idol H&H, owned by himself as well. Oh, sorry. We have a swap in the order. Looks like Sam Walker has moved up. So he's going to ring now, and he's going to be riding Hermelian VD Hogo, an Evergate Stables LLC entry.
I know Sam's so excited to have this horse. This is another horse that's had a little bit of suspicion at some oxers, so I think he's going to have to be on his game, although I watched him jump earlier in the week and he was terrific. So I think he's done a bit of homework. Again, chopping down on that back rail, that jump is square as square can be. You can barely see that back rail when you ride up to it, and the horses, I'm sure sometimes don't see it until they're up in the air.
What a test right off
Huge.
the bat.
That's what I said.
Yeah, it's just double kicking a little bit to get over the width of these oxers. That extra 5 centimeters makes a big deal.
Sure does.
Meter 50 is big. Meter 55
This will be a
is
big test
enormous.
here. Come on, Sam. Leg on.
Got through it.
Good job. Super job. And the Palmies jump puts that away.
Horse is rocking now. Having the back rail at number 3 made him have to ride a little bit more at the FAF.
He's going inside there. He's going to make sure he's a fast 4-faulter if there aren't a whole lot of cleans.
Coming home, always a little easier for the big oxers in terms of the back rail. And
good ride, Sam. And a really smart ride, too, because look at his time, 74.52. I think that may just get him a prize in this class, Brock.
For such a young rider, he rides with a lot of
so much
wisdom.
Poise, huh?
But
so much poise.
His parents have done such a great job. And now, you have people like the owners of Evergate Stables believing in him, and duly so.
The time he spent with Missy Clark, I mean, she put some polish on him, and just the miles that he's received in the last couple of years, that helps so much too.
Yeah, a lot of other riders would have had more difficulty than he had after having the back rail number 3. It really stared down at the gate at the FAF and jumped up super high. He got it over it, and then after that, you got to go to an oxer combination.
Exactly, and Sam just rode the pants off him through there, and the horse responded. The horse said, okay, well, if you're that confident, I am too, so great job. And then he was smart enough to put the afterburners on and come in a quick time.
Yeah, and look at this leaderboard here. He is in 3rd place right now with 8 that have gone out of 19. So, he should get a nice piece of the pie here. So that's a clever ride and a gutsy one to get through that after having just one down. 4 faults for Sam Walker. Okay, it looks like we have Bliss Hears in the ring with Kayani SN. And Bliss here is going to be, this horse is owned by Bridgeside Farms LLC.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the most exhilarating American riders, and she's an absolute pleasure.
She's an 11-year-old Swedish warm blood. Bliss was 4th in the Major League team event just recently.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one all week, Nancy. I think she may have been saving it.
I don't know why. Do you think it might be the prize money? Bliss ain't stupid.
217 grand. I mean, they're leaving with about 30% of that, so a little over 60 grand, 70 grand to go in their pocket here. So this is a hefty purse, shall we say.
She took her time getting to that wall. This is a good type of horse for her because it sort of takes a hold of the bridle a little bit. She's a tiny girl and it has a lot of energy. As long as it doesn't get too energized,
and
she'll be in good stead.
Having to run up that 7 really lights them up, so it just makes it even more difficult for these riders to manage these horses after having to run up there in 7 strides after a big wall.
I have to tell you, I would rather have them pulling than kicking them, that's for sure.
I concur.
And she just ran right into that jump, unfortunately. She didn't have the horse back in her hand, and he just didn't get his shape there at all, and kicked out the front rail behind there. So now she really has to settle this horse down. He's really just getting
the
his
cat.
own mind.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. She just
She
flat
basically
out
did a
just
somersault.
did not get there.
Hopefully she's okay.
Where she wanted. She's sitting up. She's a tough rider. She's getting
She's up. She's on her feet. She's like a gymnast. We love to see that. You know, that was something. You know, as you said, the cat was out of the bag there.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
And those jumps coming up quick, traveling at such a pace, not all the control that she had wanted.
Well, I agree with you. I think it started 2 to 3. He's an energetic horse anyhow.
Yeah.
She had to really book it down to 7, and he thought, great, I love this. I love to run. And he's been caught, by the way, and is in great shape. Didn't break his reins either that came over his head.
Well, we can see very well that horse has everything it takes to compete at this level, so they will get their synchronicity together and be coming back because it's not far off. She gets a little more control that she'll be clear in these sort of classes.
Sure will. She's tough.
So next in the ring, he's not in the ring yet, but we look forward to it very shortly, everybody. We have Olympian Rodrigo Pessoa here at Major League Show Jumping, just along with many other top international riders coming up here to Ontario at Caledon Equestrian Park. Some of them have been up here already because 2015, this venue hosted the Pan Am Games. So a lot of the riders have seen this venue either online or live. So he's galloping in the ring here, Rodrigo Pessoa on his very own Lord Lucio.
This is just a youngster, Brock. This is just 9 years old, this horse.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see, usually it's a real vet that can have a horse so young doing any Grand Prix. But this Grand Prix, 9 years old, my goodness, they don't come much younger.
Nope, they sure don't, but got a good third-place ribbon in the Hamptons just recently, so up to the task.
Well, we know it would not have been small there. Rodrigo is on a team as well here at Major League Show Jumping. He is on the Otomi Warriors.
Beautiful canter to this horse, lots of rhythm to it. Couldn't have a better rider. Really letting him get a look, adding a stride down to that wall. The wall's very spooky. I explained in the last class that it's a red brick wall, but then the bottom portion of it is a black latticework type of gate, and they really seem to poke their eyes down to the bottom and sometimes drop their front or back legs. Thought I might see that double of verticals come down.
Yeah, a lot of them are really staring at it.
Yep.
But it's because of those gates, they're almost back off a little bit from it because it's such a play on the eyes.
Little rub there on fence number 7, but it stayed in its cups.
Wow, this horse is jumping.
Look at the scope through there, and unfortunately, C caught up with him.
He is jumping the back rails easier than almost any horse that has ridden gone in this class.
Such a difficult triple. Such a difficult
So he tests the scope A and B, and then you got to be super careful at C.
Being just 9 years old, this horse probably hasn't quite learned how to rock back and telescope back up for that vertical. Oh, had to really jerk to pull, fit that 4 strides in. Such a massive stride. That was a shame because the horse jumped beautifully.
All right, Rodrigo Pessoa, 4 faults. That slides him into the 4th position right now as there's only 2 clear and only 2 with 4 faults. Sam having a super blazing fast 4-faulter going inside to the skinny. He was 4 seconds faster than Rodrigo there. Rodrigo coming in with about a 1.5 seconds under the time allowed with just a 1 down.
Yeah, that horse jumped beautifully, and I think Rodrigo wouldn't be sitting on if this wasn't true, a horse for the future at only 9 years of age. Look what it's going to have in front of it.
Yes, that one he owns, and I'm sure is looking forward to much anticipated international competition.
That rail, to me, was just a tiny bit of inexperience. He tried so hard over those 2 oxers.
Yeah, and he pushed so hard. He's such a strong rider.
Exactly.
He was like, I'm not having the back rail here.
Yeah.
You'd rather have the front because it makes the horse still confident, whereas they land on the back rails, they can get a little shaken.
Yeah.
Here we have Ali Ramsey, another Canadian rider, and she's going to be riding Lutz, a Ramsey Equestrian Incorporated entry.
This is a great little horse and a great combination. She rides him just amazingly well. He's a tricky little character. He's a bit of his own mind, but boy, he can jump and he can run really fast. So if she's clever enough to get a clean round, she'll be a jump-off threat.
Well, we have one petite Canadian already in the jump-off. Let's see if we can get another petite Canadian. And she's going to the whip.
She's going to the whip, and she said, come on, you're way back behind my leg. Come on.
Holy moly. That was tough.
Don't mess with this girl, Lutz. Unfortunately, I think because of all that, he may have been a bit unfocused and had that just delicate jump on the light cups down.
Gets through the triple.
She is really having to ride this horse hard. He's just a tiny little bit behind her leg, which he usually isn't. He's usually pulling her to the jumps.
Such a big track. And she ends up having the one vertical down that she probably didn't think she would.
No.
Clear everywhere else. Coming home with 4. Let's see if she can keep it to that. Big oxer to finish here. Come on, girl.
Oh, too bad. Just caught that front rail. She didn't deserve to have that.
No, and the horse is just drifting right a little bit.
Yep.
As you saw in that first vertical combination, she almost jumped over the standard.
And the yellow cups again, and that is a tricky distance. They kind of have to land off the vertical, go for maybe 4 strides, pull a bit for 4 strides, then they have to push forward for 3 because that jump is massively wide.
Yeah, I'm sure she wanted to shape out that 7, but with that right drift over the Liverpool, that just made it even quieter, costing her the front, bringing her to 8 faults. So she's in 6th place with 8 faults. She had quite a fast time of 76.53. So she's the fastest of the 8 faulters right now. 2 8 faulters, 2 4 faulters, 2 clear, and 1 on 12. 1 elimination, 1 retired. And Andrew Wells did not elect to come into show today on his. So we have Lauren Huff on Canamera 2 coming in, a Kathleen Kamine entry.
Lauren had a little bit of a spill in the last class, but tough rider that she is. She's up and at it. She had a podium finish with this horse at Angelstone just a short time ago. Big, strided, scopy horse.
Yeah, Lauren had a bit of a crash, and then Bliss here just did a somersault in the air. This is show jumping,
exactly.
And these are the best, and they're still falling off.
Oh,
wow.
My goodness. She really fought hard, and she added a stride down there. She wanted to do 6, and I don't know whether it was her plan or not, but unfortunately it cost her a rail.
Well, she had a fall, and I know a lot of riders wouldn't even elect to go after such a fall.
Yeah, and sometimes, let's face it, we lose count.
And look at her jumping that pommies.
Jumped all the hard stuff, the triple.
Yeah.
Not that path isn't big and wide enough, but I think she just misjudged her striding there. Maybe thought she wasn't going to get there, Brock, in the 5. It's hard because that jump is heading right towards us, so we don't get the proper perspective.
It's so massive and square, and they all stare down at that FAF gate, make it even bigger.
Way over the last jump.
Good finish for Lauren. Her horse was jumping tremendous.
Yeah, once again a shame because I think he was pretty much rub-free everywhere else.
Well, Lauren Huff, she only had 1 down, Nancy, putting her into 4th place right now. So good for her. At this rate, she'll get a placing. She was a fast 4 at 76.74.
82nd time allowed.
Sam Walker still in 3rd place with 1 down and a blazing time of 74.
He was smart, and he had his 4 faults early, so he was able to put the pedal to the metal. I mean, that was the one fortunate part of having the rail.
That's right, so only 2 clear still. Francois Lamontagne and Kyle King looking good heading down to the end of this class here. Number 13 in the ring, Truman, Amy Miller, Millerbrook Farm.
This is a great combination, and I think any of the riders out there will take their hat off to Amy. He's a really unorthodox horse, but these two are a great pair. She has had so many good classes with this horse. She gets so much scope out of him.
Well, this is a heck of a course. Only 2 clear. She's looking to make 3.
She can do it.
We want another Canadian here. We want to stack the jump off with our very own Canucks.
And she just rode up in that 5 as like a hunter class, as easy as could be.
She's looking good, Nancy. Okay.
Really setting up for this triple combination. Look at that.
A lot of people couldn't whoa into that Oxer,
exactly.
But she did.
Can.
She's such a strong rider.
I think Dad would have taught her the graces of the half halt as well.
And just so good with her hip staying behind the motion.
She's as good as
right
anybody. She's as good as anybody. Come on, Amy. Let's bring it home.
Let's see if she can stay under the time allowed. She's been a little...
She should be fine.
Okay.
Come on, one more.
Come on.
She gets it.
All right, and she is under the time allowed. Just 1 second under. That is 2 Canadians in this class. This $217,000 FEI 5-star, meter 55, Major League Show Jumping. Coming at you here at the Caledon Equestrian Park. We have 3 clear now. That's Amy Miller riding Truman. And the whole Millerbrook team will be thrilled and excited that she has even gotten into the jump off.
What a great ride that was. I mean, she was careful over that fence number 7, that Caledon vertical. She made her turn, she sighted up the triple, and she said, okay, come back. I know you've got the scope to get through it, so come back and make sure that you're in my hand.
You would never think I'm going to come in slow to 8AB. That's a testament to how much she knows her horse and trust him and trust that scope, because then she's able to be balanced for C.
Exactly.
And so, you know, just a real work of art. Next in the ring, we have the winner of the last class here. This is Bull Runs Risen. And Bull Runs Risen is going to be ridden by Kristen Vanderveen, and it's owned by Bull Run Jumpers 1.
And actually, in the last class, she had the number incorrect, and we were speaking of him as being Bull Runs Risen. It was actually Prince of Peace. And they do look a lot alike.
They certainly
do. They go
do.
alike. They go the same way. No martingale.
And all of her horses start with bull runs.
Exactly. So, no, Kirsten is not putting this poor horse in back-to-back classes. It is a different one. I had to explain that. Just a wrong number in the last class. Oh, that was cheap.
That was.
Just a back toe on
Whoa,
that vertical.
inside.
Well, she knows she has to be a fast 4 faulter. There's not that many clean and not a lot left.
And that's why sometimes it's better to have a rail early, because then you can make up the time.
One. But it's all gone for naught now, because 2 more are on the floor. She's going to call it a day.
Yep, horse just looks a little tired.
Yep.
But she's won enough, okay? Let someone else win, Kristen.
She might not agree with you on that.
No,
but
she wants it all. So she's going to pull up, retire, canter out. And Daniel Blumen's coming in the ring now. He's going to look to make it 4 in the jump off. He's riding Kashmir Debrais, an over-the-top stables LLC entry, and he represents Israel. So he's going to give it an effort here.
And this is another 9-year-old, so another quite young horse, but belying its age. It was second in the winning round at Rockwood a few weeks ago, but what a masterful rider this horse has. So
young and just so much experience already.
He has an absolutely thrilling string of horses. We're so lucky to be able to see them here and up close and personal in Canada. Please welcome, running out of
It's usually a real family affair with a lot of these riders, and I know his parents and his mother, such a lovely lady, support him so much, and it's just so nice to see the families all behind their young riders.
He's a very thinking rider. I know he has a program that he sets up for himself and for his staff, and he sticks to it, and that's just so much part of this sport. You can't do it just yourself. You've got to have your staff and everybody behind you. God bless the grooms and everybody else that helps these horses and riders get in the ring. Gosh, you would think this horse had years more experience than what it has. Just so beautifully balanced, this.
He's got quite a strong bridle on it, but it takes him, and he's riding it.
I think it helps him balance. He did have a little tip on the front rail of B, but unfortunately, like the other 9-year-old horse, C caught up with him, and again, I think just greenness.
Yep. So he will not be into the jump off, but he's looking to carry a little extra pacer at the end to try to still get a nice ribbon here. Get as many FEI points as he can before he heads to the next competition.
And good over the last.
All right. So Daniel Blumen.
And a good time, 74.31.
Extremely fast. So that slides him into 4th place. So he was even just a little faster than Sam at the 4, 2 milliseconds faster. So that puts him into 4th. Only 3 clear. And
it's not surprising after walking the course, and wait till you see the jump off. Oh my goodness.
Well, at least we have some riders that are going to be in it. 3 clear right now, 4 left to go.
2 Canadians.
2 Canadians.
Yes.
How about that? Santiago Lombre is going to be coming in. Shane Sweetnam's going to be next. And then we got Margie and Paul O'Shea to wrap it up. Shane Sweetnam here riding Birdie Tuteau, and it's owned by himself.
These last 4 riders could form an amazing Olympic team amongst all of them.
How about that? All right here in Ontario right now competing.
And Birdie is my horse with the most beautiful canter, such a rhythm, and of course beautifully ridden. Oh my goodness, look at that scope. Tries so hard, this horse. It must be a delight to ride as well. It just seems no matter where he places this horse, the horse is just so well balanced that the jumps come easily.
Wow, great effort there. A lot of these riders are getting used to flying into YYZ Toronto, coming to these big shows up here now that we're hosting, and we hope to have them for years to come. Shane doing a lot of winning, still clear around this course, looking to make it 4 for the jump off.
Beautiful down that tricky line, the triple, and that Palmies jump, which caused so many problems during the course of the week. Careful vertical coming up.
First of 4 efforts remaining. 3 more coming down here, still clear.
Time looks good. Oh, what a big effort over that last jump.
He does it. Nice time. Yes, Shane is clear. And what a beautifully executed round. Just rode it perfect. I'm sure that was exactly his plan.
I think he held his breath a little bit at the last jump because he wasn't exactly parked, but he wasn't flowing either.
Well, he
went way up in the air.
He's obviously trained this horse with a good half halt, but I'm not sure he was expecting it to come back so well.
Quite that halt, right?
Because then at the last 2 strides, he drops the reins and kicks, and boom, he gets over the Major League Oxer, which is just ginormous.
He's such a strong rider, though, Brock. I'm sure he just puts those legs on him, and Birdie's like, okay, I'm out of here.
So we have 4 clear now. All right, it's going to be a thrilling jump off. Next to go, we have Santiago Lombre on Easy Girl, and this is a Mario Onate owned entry.
This is a lovely mare. She was on the podium in Traverse City recently, third in a good jump-off class in Tryon earlier in the summer. Really competitive mare.
Yeah, and I think it was the day before yesterday. It was second already at this horse show.
Again, a little bit different style of horse and rider, but wow, this thing is careful and just way up over that third jump.
I just love the way it flips up its hind legs over the jump, just giving it a little bit extra aptitude of having a rail down, which it doesn't look like it normally has
and
many.
he was almost holding for that 5 strides. It's got so much energy. Careful here. You almost want to jump that jump a little bit left to right because that turn comes up so quickly to the triple. But I think that's maybe when some of the riders had a bit of a problem having it down. Oh, a good kick over the pond.
What a horse.
He's got plenty of time, so he's going to go around.
All right, he's still clear.
I see a jump off coming.
How beautiful.
Ride. What
He
a
shaped
ride.
out
What
that
a
7
ride.
so well, having patience, because we've seen a few horses drag their riders down a little deep to that Major League Oxer coming towards the in-gate. So we have another clear round. You know, this is seated, so we have a lot of these riders with a lot of FEI points high up on the FEI rankings coming here at the end. As we see now, Margie and Paul O'Shea will wrap up this class. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clear now. So if we could get 6 or 7, that would be phenomenal. We shall see. Margie Golson-Engel coming in on none other than Royce, a Glade Winds Partners LLC owned entry.
She agrees with that. I started a thought earlier before our beautiful national anthem that they have been collecting from this horse, of course, and he has babies on the ground, of which Margie has one, and she had a name contest. It was a filly. It looks just like her dad. Ended up choosing Royette. I think it's Royette or Royetta. I think it's Royette.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it looks just like him.
Wow, isn't that nice?
Yeah, really fun. It was really quite a lot of fun. She had all kinds of names, and I'm sure she had quite a time trying to decide which one she liked, and she's had some baby pictures of it growing up, and it looks like a lovely, lovely, strong filly.
That's a fun thing about having a stallion is you can see its babies as the years go by and see some similarities, of course. Obviously, the more similar to this one, the better.
Yeah.
Okay, she's showing us what he's got.
He's got lots.
Oh, again, the Caledon unassuming vertical.
I think there she almost jumped it. From my angle anyhow, it almost looked like she sort of jumped it thinking of that turn, because that turn, did you not think that turn was really tricky?
It is. And
when you walked it?
That jump's come down a lot now, and they have to turn so sharply right away to get set up for the triple.
If you jumped that jump straight ahead, facing straight the thing, you would miss your turn to the triple.
Indeed.
And I think that's why Guy put it there. And it's worked for him.
Yeah.
A simple vertical.
Who would have thought that
What a
vertical
shame.
would come down more than the skinny?
Exactly.
So we have
good time.
Royce, one down. Unfortunate, but there's no room for error or even rubs hardly with these cups and in these jumps.
I don't know whether the riders are actually turning with their body or thinking of turning, like they're turning their head.
They're turning the horse
With their head.
at the same time, and so then the horses are touching it, and you can't touch it. You can't touch that
On the
one.
yellow cups. Yellow cups are shallow.
Last to go, we have from Ireland, riding for Eye Candy Jumpers. This is a Trelawney Farm LLC owned entry though, and it is Chancelloress.
This is the one that I enjoy watching because she, I think, has as much scope as any horse we've seen today. But she's a little bit tricky. You can see Paul patting her and just assuring her all is well, and waiting till Royce gets out of the ring. You can look, there she goes. She's starting to get the burners going, and we haven't even made our circle yet.
She knows what's ahead of her, and she wants to get to it.
And she has the strangest head carriage. She wants to tuck that nose right into her chest, and then you'll see part way around the course, she'll start to flip that nose.
So Paul was on the winning ride for the gold medal team, Eye Candy, yesterday. With a thrilling class for the team competition here at Caledon Equestrian Park.
Boy, it was fun.
So he's on the winning ways. Let's see if he can get to the jump off on Chancelloress.
She's capable scope-wise, that's for sure. She just needs to listen to his ride because he is pretty darn good. Good job there. She's got to be careful. Here we go. Let's see what his technique is jumping this jump.
Oh, again.
I wonder if Guy really thought it would come down that much. Probably.
Well, I don't know that much, but it is something else.
It seems like no matter how you ride it, it's coming down, and now it's become a bogey jump. And
So Paul will not make it into the jump off. He's going to pick up the pace here to try to get a nice finish here, because
he knows how to do that.
The fastest four here gets sixth place.
There that goes. Is 2 more rails, so I don't think you can do that with this girl quite yet.
No, she was a little cocky and taking a few down there, but hey, he won yesterday, so he should be still quite happy with this horse show. So we have our jump off. We know who's in it. We have 2 Canadians. We have Santiago Lambre, who is a Brazilian, Shane Sweetenham, an Irishman, and Kyle King, an American. So international field here, and it's going to start off with Francois Lamontagne.
Caledon is proud to support the inaugural season of the Major League Show Jumping Series and be outfitting the top riders in the world as they compete for over $7 million in prize money over 10 events at North America's premier show jumping venues. Founded in 2014 to provide American-made luxury equestrian apparel, Caledon is known for its high-quality products and its modern take on the storied equestrian lifestyle. Visit the Caledon booth by the Grand Prix tent to shop the entire collection, as well as the official Major League show jumping apparel and merchandise.
When every second counts, the surface matters. Premier Equestrian features Pro-Tex footing product and Auto Sport base mats. Mats absorb up to 40% of the concussion. Pro-Tex provides maximum stability. Premier Equestrian is the official footing partner of Major League Show Jumping. Contact us about your arena at premierequestrian.com.
Our horses are not a commodity. Our horses are family members. And so in essence, when we're talking about equine insurance, we're insuring family members. So what could be more important than insuring family?
BFL is the absolute best insurance company that you can be with. They insure my horses, they insure my farm, they insure all of our automobiles. They are just a fantastic company when you need them.
We feel really great in our coverage with BFL. We don't have to worry, we're relaxed, and we can basically just focus on what we need to do.
We've had a long history with BFL, and it's really important for us at Millerbrook Farm to deal with people that we trust.
BFL is a great fit for us. We feel comfortable in our day-to-day, being covered with the horses, being covered with our coaching, being covered with our facility.
BFL are horse people, so we get great confidence that they know what they're doing when it comes to our coverage.
All right, Nancy Wetmore and I are back online here for the live stream. I'm Brock Claremont, and we have Canadian rider Francois Lamontagne, first of two Canadian riders, him and Amy, coming in to jump this unbelievably difficult.
Yeah, I'll go over quickly the jump-off course. Two new jumps, just the other side of the in-gate is fence number 15, an oxer coming towards the in-gate, then a left-hand turn to a huge oxer, and then quickly right, they may go inside the Major League oxer, to that Caledon jump that came down so often in the first round. The cups have been changed, though, deeper cups, but it's higher. BC of the triple, 9-10, and finishing over the BFL vertical, the Liverpool has been taken away and replaced with two little boxes underneath.
And because these FEI classes are seated, Francois has to go at the beginning, giving the advantage to riders that have so many points like Shane and Santiago.
Wow, that was fast. He's going inside. 7 strides. Man, this mare is on form today.
Is she ever so careful?
Come on, Francois.
He's trucking. If you can keep him up, it'll be a quick
Careful
time.
vertical here. Okay, gallop to this last, but it is a tall vertical. Does he care? No, he doesn't.
And he's clear.
What a ride. 42, 22, and clean.
He's like, hey, you're in my home country, and he is showing the Canadian.
What a ride.
Giving us Canadians a lot of pride here. Francois Lamontagne from Quebec. Clear and fast, a time of 42.22. He's setting the pace, and that's a fast pace. So he's setting the bar high. And these are some high bars around here.
And the inside of the Major League oxer, too. I mean, that's a tight squeeze after that huge oxer.
He was quick around the rollback.
He was really quick.
Kyle King.
Gallop to the last. I'm not picking up the reins. I'm just going for it. It's, kill or be killed out here.
So Kyle King is in the ring now on Enzo. He's going to give it a shot. He can do it, but it's going to be a thrill to watch. Showing him that skinny.
It's taller, it's uglier.
Yeah,
it's more difficult.
In the first round, they went around that jump. Now they're going to be slicing it.
He's given them a nice jump to start, though. They can do a flat-out gallop to it. Ten strides there. Is he going inside? He is. Gets the 7.
Okay. Clear, a little wide after that jump there. Perhaps a little slower than Francois at this point. We'll see if he can make it up.
Does the 7 strides down to the pommies. Now this tricky rollback.
Oh, that was tight. He is so good at those rollbacks. Time to beat 42. Is he going to do it? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. So basically, his horse, if it was a hair longer, he would have been in first place.
I love these jump-offs.
Oh, my God.
I tell you now, how close can you get other than a tie, which we have had this year?
Oh, my goodness. That is so rare to see. I mean, 1 millisecond is enough. 100th of a second. Kyle King clear, but not fast enough to beat our Canadian rider, Francois Lamontagne.
Phew! That was exciting.
I'll say. And then, you could see him eyeing up. He was a bit slower at the beginning of the course, but he planned on risking it all on a tight rollback to that high skinny, and he performed it excellently.
He was faster, I think, to the BFL. He went closer to the VIP where the planks are. Francois did go out a bit, but didn't matter.
He almost ran over some of the spectators. He was so close.
Yeah, close as just horseshoes, isn't it?
Absolutely. Amy Miller on course
Come
now
on,
with
Amy.
Truman.
Sort of taking back a tiny bit there. Horse has a huge stride. Nice roll back. She leaves it up a little rub,
if she had those other cups in there, she wouldn't have gotten away with that.
She would not. Hits that on stride. Gets the 7. How tight can she roll back now? Come on, Amy.
It's going to be tight.
Jump, Truman.
She's still clear, and she's
Come on,
racing to
girl.
the BFL.
Let's go. Come on. It's going to be close. Come on.
Is she going to do it? Oh, my goodness.
42, so
42.
close.
So we have milliseconds separating these riders. You know, all on 42.
And she's saying, just that one pull of the rein, why did I do that? And she gave it her all. That was terrific. And Truman was amazing.
That is a testament to the quality of the horse rider combinations in this 5-star $217,000 FEI meter 55.
He's been so consistent this summer, Truman. That's what I'm excited about. You know, he was sort of hit and miss there for a while. Oh, my goodness. So look at this man coming in, Brock. Oh, he's scary.
Well,
scary fast.
It is. Shane Sweetenham riding Birdie Tuto, and he's going to give it a run. I expect him to be the fastest. Let's see if he can keep the rails up.
If I was those spectators, I'd be getting ready to duck because he may just jump over top of them to get to the BFL vertical.
Yeah, there's a lot of money on the line and a lot of points here. He is seeing the win.
Here he goes. Added a stride there.
Whoa!
And a couple there, but just about sliced that corner down. Now he's fast here. He hasn't picked up the reins here. Let's see if this translates into the final time.
So clever the way he swoops
and,
out.
And added there, though. Come
Keeping
on, Shane.
the pace. All right, here it is.
Beautiful ride there. Okay, this is what he's famous for.
Yeah.
Look at the time. Look at the time. Can he do it? He's going to do it.
He's got it. 41.
49.
Yep. Shane Sweetenham.
And adding those strides. That's what's so interesting. So it's his track that is winning. It's not the strides that's winning for him. It's the track. It's where the horse puts his feet.
I've seen him do this a few times on these big galloping jump-offs where he will go out a little wide and then swoop in so that afterwards he's more on the inside track. And he did that.
I thought he was going to take the standard down on fence number 7 on the Caledon.
He risked it. He almost nailed it down. And, that made him land on that right side, shaving these milliseconds. This is all between milliseconds. His time, 41.49. That's not even a second
and everybody took a
Francois.
pull down to 8B. He did not take a pull down to 8B, but
he was 3/4 of a second faster than Francois.
How is that possible?
Kyle King was 1/100th second slower than Francois, and Amy Miller only 2 milliseconds. 2 milliseconds slower than second place, yet she's in 4th. It doesn't seem fair.
No, it's not fair. It's not. Okay, here's another scary one. And this horse is fast. It's fast over the jumps. It doesn't spend any time in the air, and it doesn't spend any time leaving the ground after.
In this rider, he goes for it.
Gets the 10 strides.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
exciting.
And he gets away with it, and I bet he won't take a pull. Oh, just a little bit of a
The
one.
more you push on this horse, the more effort it gives you.
Gets the 7 strides. Okay, here's a big test here. He was a little bit wide there on the turn.
Okay.
Such a fast horse, though.
Oh.
Okay, here it comes.
Is he going to be
Can
faster?
he do it? 41.49 is the target. Can he do it?
I don't know. He does it.
How did he do
my goodness.
What a
he takes
ride.
it. He wins again. So we're going to hear the Brazilian national anthem again? I'm going to start to think we're living in Brazil here.
I know it by heart.
Wow.
I know every beat of it. What a great jump off. Hats off to Guilherme Jorg. I never pronounce his name properly.
Guilherme Jorg, yes.
He's Guy to me.
Guy.
And I tell you, he has nailed it this week. He nailed the class yesterday. I told him. And this class could not be more exciting in my books.
I agree. Excitement to the end, giving all the viewers a thrill by the VIP. And that's when the seating comes into factor. Look, Shane and Santiago go at the end. They know how fast they got to go.
Yeah.
So, Amy goes in and she went blazing fast, but still ends up 5th place, which amazing result. But
Francois was blazing fast the first horse in.
he finishes 3rd. Kyle King 4th. 2nd to Shane Sweetenham on Birdie Tuteau. 1st, Santiago Lombre on a horse that I absolutely loved the first time I saw it go here at Caledon, and that is Easy Girl. The owner, Mario Onate, going to be extremely proud of this horse and rider combination, winning. Now, it was 2nd, and then it wins the 217,000 5-star competition here. This horse is something special, and this combination as well.
What a fantastic class. Folks, this is what show jumping is all about, and it just shows you the quality of what the horses have to be today to jump at this 5-star level. They have to just do absolutely everything in the toolbox, and they have to do it well, and we just saw that this afternoon.
Isn't it great to see a jump off like this? Enough in the jump off. We had 5 in the jump off out of a 19 entries in the start list. So we have enough in the jump off to make it a thrill, and then he allows them to race around on a track that is not trappy, that we can see them fly and make it exciting. No one had any rails down. It was time, and that's it. And we had a thrill all the way to the end, looking at the clock because they're all racing through around the same time. So we have to wait till it pops up on the board to even know who the heck is winning here.
I know, exactly. Well, what a great afternoon of show jumping. Hats off to everybody involved. I tell you, my heart will be beating all the way home thinking about it. It was just fantastic. And thanks, Brock. It was a great afternoon.
It's been such a pleasure to do this with you, Nancy, and an honor.
The folks here at the park have been doing such a great job, and it's been a long season for sure. There have been so many great hands here, and we've had so many of our great employees from the previous management group move over with us into this facility, and people like Terry and Pete, Yvonne and Sarah, and now Jim joining us, and it's so wonderful that you guys have been able to be the rocks we needed to get through a wonderful show jumping season. We're almost at the end here, and what a way to cap things off here at the season-ending finale. 5-star jumping at its best. Major League show jumping here at the Caledon Equestrian Park. I've never seen the park look better. Everybody up in VIP having a great time, dressed to the nines. The island in the middle. Man, what a day it was. We'll get set to award our presentations in just a moment. So with that, we welcome our champions into the ring. I tell you, being able to watch a rider like Santiago navigate a course here from his countryman, Guillermo George, and not just thrill us once, not twice, but 3 times. I mean, this guy is a real phenom, and he's building a fan base in Canada like no other. I can't wait to have him back next year if he comes and visit us. He is absolutely thrilling, and he'll go down and take his place in Canadian show jumping history, one of the biggest Grand Prix ever hosted in Eastern Canada, and he's going to come out on top. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Stephanie Curtin and Lindsay Farrow from BFL to the presentation circle. Ladies and gentlemen, we are set to present our podium finishes. He set the leading time at 42:22 that everybody had to chase down. He is always exhilarating when he competes at Angelstone and Caledon. Please welcome to the podium from Quebec, Francois Lamontagne and Chanel Ducalvaire. Amazing finish for the Canadian up there on the international podium, likely the biggest podium finish of his life. And now moving on to the Irishman. He barreled down, he saw the turn, he knew what he needed to do, he posted the time, he thought he had it, but right to the end he held it. Please welcome in second position, Shane Sweetnam out of Ireland. And now winning the biggest Grand Prix in Eastern Canadian show jumping history, this is Santiago Lambre and Easy Girl. Oh, what a finish that was. Absolutely incredible. We'll take some photos. What memories were created. Give them a big round of applause, everyone. And with that, we'll turn it over to the Brazilian national anthem. We'd all ask you to rise and remove your hats. Give a big round of applause there. Santiago Lambre of Brazil coming out on top. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pose for some pictures with our BFL guests. This was the true experience of Major League Show Jumping. We're bringing out the 2027 sellers. We get this little celebration here for our winner there, Santiago Lombre. That's not his first time bumping this champagne there. And it's Shane Sweetenham, Francois Lamontagne. Oh, what a dry clean bill those guys are going to have. I tell you what, I think that was a pretty good afternoon of show jumping, wouldn't you say? I think everybody at the infield has also had a great time there, especially our VIPs. And they're all down there. Let's get them all suited up and victory gallop here to celebrate the BFL winners of the 5-star $217,000 Grand Prix here in Caledon. All right, we got the Brazilian back up on his horse. It's time to give these guys the send-off they deserve. Let's go, guys. It's time to victory gallop to celebrate the winners of the 5-star Grand Prix here at Caledon. Oh, putting on the afterburners and putting on a show. What more could you expect? There's Shane Sweetenham crossing the line and Mr. Francois Lamontagne. We had to have representation from the Canadians, of course. He got it done and thrilled the crowd tonight. And Santiago's taking another victory lap over here. I know he's having a lot of fun here in Canada. What a rider that guy is. Let's see him go. Whoa! Hang on, Santiago. You might need some BFL insurance yourself. Oh, what a ride for that Brazilian. It's such a fitting tribute because, I mean, we had Guilherme George also from Brazil setting what would be one of the most difficult tests we've ever seen in this part of Canada. And Santiago just soaked it up. He relished in the challenge of the day. He barreled down. He saw what he needed to do. I mean, Shane Sweetenham took that inside turn at the Caledon jump, and he took it even tighter than that. He's like, okay, you've got that. I've got one step more. And so he just elevated, and he just took that win, and he got it done. Your win was absolutely incredible. So with that, we will sign off from the booth. We'll get set for the modified Grand Prix here. And if you're joining us here, the bar will remain open. We'll have a great time. We'll celebrate fall in style here at Caledon. Thank you very much for joining us. A wonderful memory indeed. As the leaves change color, we transition into the fall season. From me and everybody here up in the booth, Ryan Claremont, and I wish you a good day. Take care and drive home safe.
Caledon is proud to support the inaugural season of the Major League Show Jumping Series and be outfitting the top riders in the world as they compete for over $7 million in prize money over 10 events at North America's premier show jumping venues. Founded in 2014 to provide American-made luxury equestrian apparel, Caledon is known for its high-quality products and its modern take on the storied equestrian lifestyle. Visit the Caledon booths by the Grand Prix tent to shop the entire collection, as well as the official Major League show jumping apparel and merchandise.
When every second counts, the surface matters. Premier Equestrian features Protex footing product and Auto Sport base mats. Mats absorb up to 40% of the concussion. Protex provides maximum stability. Premier Equestrian is the official footing partner of Major League Show Jumping. Contact us about your arena at premierequestrian.com.
We have a new leader.